Hey guys, what's up? Dr. Andrew Chappell here, PhD in human nutrition, coming at you with another Animal Pack video. So today I'm going to talk about Animal Flex, okay? Animal Flex is a comprehensive joint care supplement. Now, I have been training now for over 20 years. I did my first bodybuilding contest back in 2006, and I have had a lot of sports injuries, soft tissue injuries along the way around the joints. So it's important that I take a joint supplement because I'm getting on a little bit in terms of years. But this is also something that I recommend that all of my clients take, people who I'm working with in terms of sports nutrition and consultation, is to take some sort of joint support supplement. Now, before we get into this, it's important to sort of say that if we've got a nice, healthy diet, if we are executing exercises with great technique, and that we're making sure that we're a nice, healthy weight, then the strain and the stresses that we put on our joints is going to be minimized, okay? However, sometimes things just happen. Particularly if you play sport, you could run, roll your ankle. There are times in games, matches, or even when you're in the gym where you're a little bit tired, and you push yourself that little bit more. And we're always walking that tightrope when it comes to building muscle mass or losing body fat between maximizing performance on one side and then on the other side potentially incurring a little bit of overtraining, which can lead to an injury. Now, when it comes to sports injuries, it's worthwhile understanding how these things can occur, okay? Usually what's happening is that in any sort of sports injury, the soft tissue around the joint, so we're talking about your ligaments and your tendons, become either ruptured, slightly torn, or they are inflamed, as is the case in any sort of acute short-term injury or in any sort of long-term injury like osteoarthritis, whereby the joint capsule has experienced wear and tear and might be on a consistent sort of inflamed situation, okay? So that's really what's going on within sort of sports injuries. And we've all had cuts, scabs along the way. And what happens with a sports injury is, just like any sort of injury that you get on your arm, like this little cut I've got here on your arm, what happens is there's a build-up of inflammation. You get that redness, you get that soreness, you get the swelling around the area. And then what happens is all of your body's immune cells circulate around that area, and what they're doing is they're starting to build up new tissues, they're starting to take away damaged tissues, they're starting to take away any sort of debris and detritus that might end up in the area, particularly if it's a cut, you might get some dirt in there, for example, and they shuttle all that sort of stuff away from the site. And then once that's all done, it allows you to then thereafter get in there, and then the repair work can start to take place within the cell as initiated by, again, your immune system. But what can happen is this immune signal can end up permanently switched on. So it's on all of the time. So you've always got this swelling, this inflammation going on. And what happens is you've got specialist receptors called nociceptors. And these nociceptors, what those do is they detect injury and they send signals to your brain to tell you you've got pain going on there, so to avoid doing particular activities, or you're going to aggravate things that little bit more. Now, in terms of long-term injuries, you've maybe not quite initiated that repair process properly. You've maybe still got some bleeding. You've maybe still got some swelling, some inflammation going on around that area. And treatments like acupuncture or ice baths can allow you to control that inflammation so you can get that repair process started. This is why something like a joint support supplement is so important, because Within this, we've got some key ingredients, okay? So within Animal Flex, you've got glucosamine, you've got turmeric, you've got vitamin C, vitamin E, but you've also got omega-3 fatty acids, right? Now, vitamin C is important for a number of reasons. Vitamin C directly relates to collagen and connective tissue synthesis. So when people end up with scurvy, which is a vitamin C deficiency, what happens is they cannot heal wounds. They end up with bleeding gums, they end up with old wounds, old scars open up again. It's a terrible, terrible ailment that sailors in the age of sail used to suffer with before they started having limes. So vitamin C is really, really important in any sort of joint support supplement, because without the vitamin C, we can't lay down the new collagen tissue, which comes from the protein to repair the joints so that you can recover from the exercise sessions. And bearing in mind, you might just be getting injuries from micro traumas caused by just everyday training. So we've got vitamin C in there, so very, very important. Vitamin E is important for stabilizing the omega-3 fatty acid. Now, omega-3 fatty acid, in this case, it comes from the flaxseed oil. What that does is, once we get the balance right between omega-3 to omega-6 within the body, and all of us get plenty of omega-6 within the body, within our diets, it's getting that omega-3 right, which is so important. Once we get that ratio right, it offsets a balance between inflammation in the body, because what omega-3 does is it signals to your cells for several of what we call housekeeping genes and molecules, right? So you've got this constant balance between inflammation and reduction in inflammation. And omega-6 switches it on, if you like, omega-3 dampens it down. So we've got to make sure we've got enough omega-3 within our diet so that we can get that ratio right, because we need a little bit of inflammation as well, of course, because we need to make sure that our immune cells are actively working. Now, we need that omega-3, that balance, to dampen down that inflammation so we can control that inflammation properly and recover from sports injuries. The two other things that we've got in here are glucosamine and turmeric, amongst other particular supplements. Now, what's been shown in the research is that in osteoarthritic individuals, that is people who have got damaged joints around a specific area caused by inflammation where they get pain, what those particular supplements do is they bring down the inflammation and they also reduce pain, okay, or your perception of pain. So there's a direct interaction going on there. And how these things work is they've got polyphenolic compounds. So in fruits and vegetables, where you've got these bright colours on your fruits and vegetables, such as the purples that you get from cyanins, you get in blueberries, or maybe even resveratrol that you get in the dark red colours that you get in other berries that you get in wine, or maybe even in catechins that you get in the greens of green tea, for example. These different coloured giving properties in plants have got antioxidants and very often bioactive components in them. And in this case, the glucosamine in the turmeric, which is that sort of orangey colour, that will allow you to control that inflammation, damp it down, get it under control, and help you supplement. So something like this, we take it every single day. We don't just take it when we're injured, because we always want to mitigate the potential effects of sports injuries when you're training regularly, when you're training for high performance sport. So important that we take something like this, and I take this supplement every day and I recommend it to my particular athletes, alongside a healthy balanced diet, good exercise technique, and ensuring that I'm a healthy body weight, because if I can do those things, that makes sure that I'm less likely to get injured in the first place. And the best way to solve a problem is always to not have that problem in the first place. Okay folks, if you enjoyed this video, check out our other videos with Animal Pack, and check out my channel as well. I'm Dr. Andrew Chappell and I am the Natural Bodybuilding Coach. Thank you for your time, thank you for your attention, and if there's other videos, other topics you want me to discuss, then please do leave a like, share, leave a comment down below. This is Dr. Andrew Chappell once again, setting out for Animal Pack.